Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Myth Me. This is a channel where I explain easy myths to you which you find hard in textbooks, but you find these easy in stories. Like you remember, we were on Greek mythology, and in the last video we saw how the gods took birth. Now I'm gonna make 5 more videos in the Greek mythology series, and then we'll move on to another mythology. In these 5 videos, we're going to be discussing 5 different heroes or great famous people, demigods, mortals, anyone who is famous or did something brave according to the Greek mythologies. We're going to be discussing them. So let's get started with this video. I am so excited to tell you what happens, and I'm going to leave you in a suspense. So you better be watching the next video to find out what happens in the end. So let's see. So we all know these Greek gods, and now the rest of these stories are going to be based on them. This is the story of the mighty Perseus. This is a great Greek hero. Let's find out about him. So, on the mainland of Greece thrived a kingdom called Argos. The king was named Perseus. He had a daughter named Danae, who was pronounced as Danae. So, anyways, this guy did have a daughter, but he wanted a son. Apparently, like almost everyone during that time, a daughter wasn't enough for him. He was like, I need a son to take my kingdom after I die. I don't trust a daughter, and a daughter should work and clean the house, which is very sexist. So he wanted to know if he would ever get a son. So he decided to visit to the worst place possible, the Oracle of Delphi. Now, this may not seem that bad, but it actually is, because it's not worth it, honestly. You travel such a long way to Delphi, which is literally like far away from most kingdoms in Greece, and you meet a sketchy whale woman sitting on a tripod, inhaling volcanic fumes, being temporarily possessed, and speaking a prophecy in an annoyingly tricky riddle. And mostly, it's bad news. I mean, it can be good news too, but you never know what the prophecies tell you or what the gods have planned for you. And if the gods are angry at you, they're looking for revenge. So you better watch out. So, soon enough, he found out that he could not bear a son, but his daughter would, and this son would kill him and take over his throne. Now, this has happened in stories before. We watched that happen in Kronos' story, and we all know how this ends. But this guy, he was not a cannibal. He was much, much worse. So after finding out his nice dear grandson is going to kill him, he decided to do the unthinkable. He made a 3-meter thick room, kind of like a safe actually, and this was made of bronze. Okay, pro tip: do not lock people in 3-meter thick walls of bronze. It is dangerous. And he locked his daughter inside so that no one could meet her and she could never have a son. Now, see, Danae had done nothing wrong. She was actually a really nice person, and she prayed to the gods, ate her vegetables, and she was overall a perfect daughter. But then this guy was like, she cannot have child. That child is dangerous. That child will kill me. So, well, he was exactly like Kronos, honestly, and he decided to lock his daughter up in a safe. It's actually dangerous because Danae had to suffer through the summer since bronze get hot and it's really unbearable. So she prayed to Zeus and he heard her prayer because he thought she looked hot and irresistible. And he came there. He wanted to impress her, basically, because he didn't want to go in an embarrassing form that would startle or scare her. He wanted to go beautifully and graceful. So he decided to turn into golden glitter and he swept in through the window that was there so that she could breathe, of course. See, the king wanted to show that he was a good man, so the least he could do was keep a window for the poor child. So he floated into the window and paused, and he was impressed. Then he spoke through the glitter that I am Zeus and I have come here due to your request. And they get hanky panky. And then 9 months later, there was a Danae holding the baby boy of Zeus in her hand. The guards heard the crying and thought the king should know because this was like he would know it and he would kill the guards if they didn't tell him. So they went ahead and told the king like snitches. He again did the unthinkable. He put his daughter and grandchild into a wooden box and he shut it tight with nails with a few holes in it for air again to show that he's nice. And he threw them in the ocean. Why would he do that? That's just woman and child abuse. But we're in ancient Greece. Got nothing to do with anything. So Zeus and Poseidon save the day. Let's go. So Zeus looks out for his wife and child and tells Poseidon to take care of them. So there were calm waves. Poseidon made little salmons wiggle through the hole so they could enjoy some sushi. Eventually, a fisherman found them and opened the box. There was something good. Gold. That's literally everything the ancient Greeks desired. Olives and gold, maybe some wine. And then out came tumbling the royalty. He took them to the king. Danae hates the king. This is true. Yep. The king got pretty flirty with her, and she didn't like it. Actually, Perseus saved her from him by crying and screaming every time he came close. So he didn't want Perseus to be in the way of everything, come in the way. So he made Perseus go away to the temple of Athena to be raised over there by the priests and priestesses, and at the other end of the city so that he could not bother them. And but even without Perseus, she handled herself pretty well. I mean, every time he came close to her, she wailed and cried as the maids watched her and they looked at the king like, go away, she's crying, honestly. And like he would go away of embarrassment, or she would make weird noises and apologize for being sick. And the thing turned out better for them and bad for the king. So let's see what happens. Perseus soon got the best education from the priests in the temple of Athena. He visited his mom more often now and prevented Polydectes, who's the king, from flirting with his mom. Let's see what happens. Societal hero, baby. Of course, he was a societal hero. All heroes are. You know about it later. So how did the heroism come in? Like all of the previous part just sounds like typical day in ancient Greece. But where does the heroism come in? So the king's daughter's marriage was being arranged, and the entire kingdom wanted to impress the king by bringing the best gift. But Perseus did not plan on bringing things. And, they were not that rich. I mean, he was just living in the poor king in a temple. How do you expect him to have much money? So he didn't plan on bringing anything. But then the king wanted to embarrass him. Of course he did, because he hated him, and asked him what he had. He had one. He said he had more than anything. This guy was frank. He was like, I didn't get anything. Do you have a problem? So the king said he would have to bring something. I mean, he had to. His daughter was getting married. So then Perseus did the worst thing he could. He swore. No, not that kind of swear. What do you think I meant? He swore on the river Styx. This is bad. Because you see, river Styx flows through hell, which is governed by Hades. And every time someone swears on a river Styx, which is not that often because people are scared, um, Well, the water, the Hades just moves, and then if he promises something on the river Styx, it's like it's a black river, like you see here. It is just completely black, and this is actually from where the ferry guy in hell takes the dead to Hades. They have to travel across the river Styx, so that's also a thing, just of it. And also, um, if you fall, the dead fall or commit suicide in the river Styx, they just dissolve, right? So yeah. So you see, swearing on the river Styx is serious, and it's a promise you can't break. And of course, what's there gonna be? Consequences. That's very obvious. So that's like literally every promise in ancient Greece. There are always consequences. So this is what happens. He swears on the river Styx that like, I shall do whatever you ask me to, something like that. So then the king is like, anything? He's like, anything. So he is raised in the temple of Athena. He can never turn down a challenge. So when the king tells him, you must bring your gift, you should swear on the river Styx. So he's like, you know what? I do swear on the river Styx. You can get me anything. I'll give you anything you want for the gift. And he was like, let's just get this guy killed. I don't want him anymore. Yeah. But it's pretty obvious that in the end he survives. So yeah, I'll just give you a gist of what the king asked him to do. You guys must have heard of Medusa. If you haven't, I will cover that in the next video. Medusa is actually a woman who got cursed. Um, she had been made extremely ugly, and there were snakes as her hair, and she was pretty deadly. She was actually a princess, and her other two sisters decided to stay with her, and they were immortal. So together they were called the Gorgons. I will cover more of that in my next video. But till then, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was actually really good. And by the way, FYI, it's pretty obvious, but I just want to let you know, killing Medusa is pretty hard. So don't try that. Don't try that at home because she's already dead, so you can't. But yeah, so he wants her to bring the head of Medusa. How does he do this? I will cover that in my next video. Till then, I'll see you. Bye, guys. Oh, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's a must. Like and subscribe, click that notification bell to get notifications of my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.